Hello, welcome. It's our final Thursday Q&A live before Christmas, hence the slightly festive intro photo, and that's as festive as it's going to get. We've got no Christmas trees or special lights or Christmas hats here. However, what we do have is the Digital DJ Tips team and the studio open for another hour to help you with your DJing questions, queries, challenges, and all the rest of it. So whatever you're struggling with in your DJing right now, all you have to do is ask. We're live on YouTube, Twitch, and our Facebook page and our Facebook group, Global DJ Network. So wherever you're watching this on the internet and wherever you're watching this in the world, welcome. It's me, Phil, here in the studio. As ever, we've got the lot. We've got the Pioneer setup. We've got all the stuff that you're used to me picking up on the shelves behind me, but also I've got the whole studio over there full of the latest gear, full of all the stuff that you're probably buying, wanting to buy, using, needing help with this Christmas, this festive period. So do ask. We're here not only to help with your DJ gear issues and problems and challenges, but everything else, music, techniques, promoting yourself, performing, whatever it is you're struggling with in your DJing, just ask, because my team and I would love to help you. Now, housekeeping, if you're not a member of Digital DJ Tips and you want to get a copy of the #1 selling book on Amazon on how to DJ, you can get this as a Kindle book, you get this as an audio book, you can buy this in bookstores, but I'll give you a copy of this just for joining Digital DJ Tips. It's really simple to join Digital DJ Tips, and there's actually a really good reason to join right now. I'll tell you why in a second, but head to digitaldjtips.com and click on the big join button at the top. It'll take you to this page here. Put your info in, put your best email address in, and become our latest member. Not only will we give you a copy of the book, but also you'll get our Digital DJ Tips emails every Tuesday. It's called Tuesday Tips, and the Tuesday Tips email is the best place to improve your DJing because we pack it with our features, our guides, our reviews, but also mixes and free lessons from not only us, but our guest tutors. James Hype, DJ Jazzy Jeff, Laidback Luke, only the best tutors, and they're only working with us at Digital DJ Tips. So if you want to learn from those guys and you want to become our latest member, it's free. Go to digitaldjtips.com, sign up. Right, it's questions time. It's time to open the floor. Now, there's a lot going on in the world of DJing at the moment, so we've been covering over on Digital DJ Tips this week some really fantastic new studio monitors from Adam Audio. We just put this live today. They're actually right in front of me. They're the ones that you can possibly see on the wide shot, hidden away here and here. These are really quite cool because you can network them up and then control them remotely and do all kinds of stuff with them. So if you're interested in some monitors that do a little bit more than just play your music back to you, take a look at that review on Digital DJ Tips where we dive into a lot of detail about them. We've got our last minute Christmas gifts ideas. I talked about that on Tuesday. And we've also been looking at the on-the-fly flexible beat gridding, which is a new thing that has been added to Denon DJ's software as of Engine 2.4. So for Denon DJ gear, like what I've got in front of me here, I've got the Denon DJ Prime 4, but also for Numark's Mix Stream Pro, any Engine DJ gear has got this new feature which lets you take the audio waveforms and then edit them with flexible beat gridding. So if you're using a streaming service like I am here and you want to beat grid your track, you just hold your hand on the beat grid button and you get a whole new, well, that side actually, you get a whole new set of controls come up on the screen. So you've got your downbeats that you can set, you can insert anchors, delete anchors, shift the whole grid, to half and double the BPM, increase and decrease it, tap it, lock it, all the stuff that you could never do before on Denon DJ and Numark engine equipped gear, you can now do with flexible beat gridding. So it's really powerful. So we've been covering that over on the Digital DJ Tips website as well. And there is a video where I go into a lot of detail about this, which you can find over there. Just click through to it. And there I am helping you out with how this works, kind of a free tutorial. So this is what's been going on in the DJ world. If you want to talk about those things, great. But if you want to talk about anything else, that's absolutely fine. I'll pull the laptop in now, open up our chat box, which is already getting absolutely rammed. This is a behind the scenes look at the chat coming in live. So I've got this on the computer here, and whatever you say, whatever platform you're on, we'll try and help. So firstly, Let's say some, oh, I said there was a good reason for you to join Digital DJ Tips right now. Let me tell you about that now before we go any further, because you might not be able to hang around for the whole show, and you do need to know this. So every year we run a census. We call it the Global DJ Census. This is your chance to tell the industry where you're at in your DJing, what gear you use, what music you're into, where you consume music, where you share music, kind of gigs you play, your kind of feelings going forward into 2023, what you really want from your DJ gear, what kind of music you're into, everything about your DJing, you can share not only with us but with the industry by taking the Global DJ Census. And it gets shared with the whole industry. What you say counts, and not only that, with you. So at the end of the census, we will compile, there's normally 20, 30,000 people will take this, and we compile it all. We make a really great presentation PDF, which we'll send to you as a thank you for joining, which is a really good insight into the world of DJing. And it will certainly help you if you're trying to get gigs, or if you just want to know, you know, what gear everyone uses, what software everyone uses, what music everyone's into, and all that stuff. It's all going to be in there, and you'll get a copy of that just for taking the time to fill the thing in. So it's worth taking our Digital DJ Census. It's launching, hopefully, tomorrow. We're just ironing out a few little final hitches. There's always final little things we want to get perfect, but hopefully it's launching tomorrow. So if you're a member of Digital DJ Tips, we'll email you and we'll tell you, and you can take part nice and early in that. But there's more to it, because as a Digital DJ Tips member, you get to enter the prize draw. Every year we talk to our partners in the industry and we assemble incredible prizes that you can win just as a thank you for taking part in our Global DJ Census. Now this year we're shaking things up a bit. What we've done in the past is just ask everyone in the industry to donate a prize, and very, very sportingly and kindly they always do. I think last year we had $30,000 worth of prizes or something like that. But this year we're doing it a bit differently. This year we are going to give away 4 absolutely fantastic mega prizes, and that's it for the census. They are really huge prizes. There's a prize that will be perfect if you're into club DJing, a prize that will be perfect if you're a party or a mobile or a live stream DJ, a perfect prize for scratch DJs, and a perfect prize for DJ producers. One of those 4 prizes is going to be the one that will change your life if you win it. They are that good, they are that big. I'm not going to tell you what they are right now, but trust me, our partners in the industry have really pulled their fingers out this time to give you something that is just incredible. So how do you do it? How do you enter? You simply make sure you're a member of Digital DJ Tips. Go to the website and click join, and then we'll let you know when all this happens. It's only once a year. It's really huge, and it's going to run until, I think it runs until the first week, end of the first week, beginning of the second week in January, and then we close it, announce the winners, and we announce the results. So you do have a little while to take part, but if you're on our list, you'll find out about the prize draw and all that stuff. So do make sure you join. Right, let's go and say hello to a few people then. Firstly, hello to Mixmaster G and GM and Robert and Rabite over on Twitch. Hello to Naya and to Keshia, and to Dr. Clara on Twitch as well. Hello, Dr. Clara. Hello to I Need Help. I love it. We've got some great names in our community. We've got You Don't Like My Music and I Need Help are my 2 favorites so far today out of our people in the chat, so that's cool. So this is from Kenneth. Our first question, so brilliant. Thanks, Kenneth. Kenneth says, I am new to Digital DJ Tips, so welcome first, Kenneth. And I'm wondering if there's a course that can help me further in my quest for techno DJing. I'm kind of stuck on fading and my experiments don't work. Well, look, techno DJing is very similar to house or any other kind of 4/4 DJing, Kenneth. So if you're new to mixing and to beat mixing and to counting and timing and the way music works and the way music fits together, then there's not really any point in trying to concentrate on a particular style of mixing. It's like someone who's never been out for a run trying to become a 100-meter sprinter or trying to become a marathon runner, right? It's too soon to start doing those things. You've just got to figure out the basics of running, right? So I'm only pointing out this analogy because hopefully it'll help. If that is you, if ultimately you want to be a techno DJ, but right now you're struggling with everything about mixing, then you need our complete DJ course. Our complete DJ course is the course of the book, and that talks you through gear, music, techniques, playing out, promoting yourself, gives you the rounded thing that you need to even be doing this DJing thing in the first place. But part of that is mixing, and we teach you all the basics of mixing like it's done on record decks, because you need to know that stuff, counting, timing, manual beat mixing and so on. Then we teach you the basics of doing it on digital DJ gear, so all the stuff you don't get on record decks, cue points and loops and effects and so on. And then we move on to show you how to do it in the real world. And one of those areas we talk about is mixing 4/4, techno, trance, house and so on. But if that is kind of like below you, if you kind of already know that stuff and you want specific help, then the course I would recommend is our House Mixing Mastery course. House Mixing Mastery is all about 4/4. It's all about the doof, 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 doof beat. It's all about the styles of music that include techno, but also include trance, minimal house, tech house, you know, vocal house, any kind of 4/4, 4 to the floor rhythm music. That's where you're going to find it in there. So take a look at House Mixing Mastery. There is a page, I'll show you where to find it actually. So you head over to the Digital DJ Tips website. It's where you find all of our courses. Go to the top, click on DJ courses, scroll down and find the mixing courses and then click on House Mixing Mastery. And in here we'll show you what the course is about and you can figure out whether you think it's right for you. Remember, all our courses have got a guarantee, money back guarantee, not only for like a week or a month or 90 days, but for a whole year. So you can try the whole course. You've literally got time to try the whole course. And if it's not for you, you just ask us and we'll refund you with a smile. So look, these are all things that apply completely to techno DJing, mixing with filters and effects, using loops to transition, and live remixing and mashups, performance tricks, quick mixing and so on. If this looks like something that could be useful, go check it out on the website. Thank you, Kenneth. Good luck. Let us know how you get on. Right, let's grab some more questions live then. You Don't Like My Music said, come on, Phil. I expected some lights and a Santa outfit. You know what? Call me Scrooge, but I said to my team, just a few days ago, I do not want to see any Father Christmases with headphones on anywhere on our website or on our socials this year. And it was triggered by the first one. There was one post, I think, that I saw that on. I was like, no, I hate it. So I've put a blanket ban among our staff of using Father Christmas with headphones on this year. But I might pull out a Santa hat if I remember on Tuesday. Tuesday is the last Tuesday tips. I actually said this Tuesday just gone that was the last one, but I got it wrong. We've got one more to come. So I've still got time to redeem myself on that one. So this one is from Michael, who is being un-Scrooge-like and just saying, I want to wish you all a very happy Merry Christmas. And not only me, but the team. So thank you for that, Michael. Right, this is from I Need Help, who needs help. I recently started your DJ course. I currently use Traktor Pro, but I'm wondering if any other major DJ software have anything like Traktor's remix decks. Thank you. No, they don't. Traktor's remix decks are very, very unique to Traktor. And so if you like the remix decks, then stick with Traktor. Now there is a sequencer in Rekordbox, so you do get kind of something similar, but no, nothing is quite like Traktor's remix decks. If you're hooked on them, Traktor is definitely your software of choice there. Hello to Brian, hello to Tech Savvy Hero and Ludicrous and Birchie and QE Skill over on YouTube. Hello to Paulo in Portugal, DJ Ginormous, Adam and Jason on Facebook. Jason says, when I'm live streaming, my frames seem to keep dropping. How can I solve this problem? Any advice, please? So again, I need to tell you about, if you're really serious about learning to live stream as a DJ, we can help you. We've got a course for that. Go to our courses page, scroll down, and in the courses at the bottom, the specialized courses, you'll find DJ live streaming made easy. This will teach you how to live stream on everything from literally just using your phone, as in that picture there, to using a studio like the one I've got here. Well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's another one somewhere. 7, 8, even 9. There you go. There's our video bumper that plays at the beginning that you saw over the Christmas picture, that one there. We've got all these cameras here and we show you everything from using your phone up to using a big studio like this and everything in between. So if you're really serious about live streaming, take a look at the DJ Live Streaming Made Easy course. However, your question is about frames dropping. Now, what you mean by frames dropping, for those of you that aren't into the way live streaming works, is you're watching this broadcast now, right? And everything's fine. I'm going like this, my hands are moving, everything's looking smooth and good. But sometimes it doesn't, sometimes they stutter. It's like buffering. And the reason this happens could be one of 2 reasons. The first reason is your computer is not coping with what you're asking it to do. Look, if you're using a laptop like I've got here for your live streaming, you've got a couple of cameras in it and it's going out to YouTube or Twitch or whatever, but at the same time, you've got your DJ software running on that laptop, you're starting to ask the laptop to do an awful lot. And if the laptop's not very powerful, it might struggle. And one of the things that'll happen is it'll start to stutter. It'll start to buffer and drop frames and the pictures will get stuttery. So one of the things you can do to solve that is to make the laptop do less, maybe have a second laptop for your live streaming, or, and here's the big easy win, reduce the size of the video. So if you're using 1080, which is what we're using here, which is a really good picture, reduce the size of that picture so it's only 720 or 480, which are the two resolutions down. They make a big difference in the size of the picture and not really a very big difference to people watching, especially if they're watching on phones and stuff like most people are nowadays. They're not really going to tell, and that will instantly take an awful lot of the strain off your computer. Another thing you can do is change the frame rate. So the frame rate is the number of times your computer updates every second to give you a smooth picture. Now, it could be set to 50. And you don't need it set to 50, you can set it to 25 or 24 depending where you are and what options your software gives you. And that's fine. We stream here at 24 frames a second or 25, and I never remember. One of them is US and one of them is UK. And we found that if we pushed it up to 50, sometimes we had problems. You don't need to stream at a high rate. So because it's sending a smaller picture, fewer times, you get a better chance of your computer coping with it. But it could be the internet. That's the second thing. It could be that your internet is not coping with what you're pushing out, and the up speed on your router is just unable to do it, especially if you're using Wi-Fi. You know, you could plug an Ethernet cable in. This box here is where we go live. This is the kind of like the heart. We're not using a computer to go live here. It all goes into this box, and this is Etherneted into our high-speed internet here. So it's a very stable, fast connection. So you could use an Ethernet cable to connect from your laptop, if you're using a laptop for streaming, of course, to the internet. And also, you can reduce the, and I can't remember the exact name for this, but it's the amount of, what is the name for it? It's written down there, and my eyes are too old and tired to see the exact word for it. It is called the data rate. Thank you very much. I've got a screen over there that shows me the data rate of this broadcast. And so the data rate is the amount of data it's sending up per second to the internet. So you might have a big picture, you know, your computer might cope with a 1080 picture, but a big picture needs a lot of data to get it out to the internet. But you can tell your software to reduce the data rate. Now that's of course going to reduce the quality of the picture, but again, it's going to help you to push that out through the internet without any blockages. So look at the data rate. We're currently, for what it's worth, going at 4.6, is it megabits per second? I think it is. And that's fine on a reasonable, I think we've only got a slow upward internet here. I think it's about 20, our upward internet, 100 down but 20 up here. It's always done as fine. So if you have got issues, it's going to be one of those two things. It's going to either be your computer not coping and therefore you reduce the picture size or reduce the frame rate, or it's going to be your internet not coping. Again, smaller picture size will help, but ultimately it's the number of megabits per second you're trying to push through that connection that's going to help you there, and connecting to an Ethernet will help. Right, if you're not into live streaming, apologies for that, but we've covered it now, and I'm sure a lot of you will be thinking about live streaming, and now you know. Right, let's grab another question then, and this will be something that is not to do with live streaming. This one is, I hope that was useful to you, Jason. This one is from Birchie, and Birchie says, "Hi Phil, will I be able to assign pads for stems on my Pioneer DJ XDJ-XZ?" And so this is the massive controller, the massive standalone system for Pioneer DJ, which also works with Serato. And the answer to that question is, I would assume you will, Birchie, if you can't already, but I don't know that for certain. So the way to figure that out is to go and have a look. Go into the, I mean, I've got Serato here. Unfortunately, it won't have the thing I'm about to show you because I don't have a controller plugged into the system here. But I'll show you kind of where you're looking for this thing at the very least. So you need to go into this, you need to plug your controller into Serato, and then you need to go to the settings in Serato. So go to this cog here. And then somewhere in here, you're going to find, and I'm going to guess it's going to be on, it could be on Mixer, could be on Library and Display, or it could just be on DJ Preferences. Thinking about it, it's probably on here. You're going to see something somewhere that says, yeah, it's probably here. So you've got Analyze Stems here, right? You probably can't see that because it's quite small. But we've got this, it says Analyze Stems in the middle here. Somewhere there's going to be an Assign Stems to drop down, and what that's doing, I mean, this is This is a Prime 4 from DJing DJ, which should also work with stems, by the way. But what you've got here is your pads, right? Now, there's no stems controller on the pads because this controller predates stems. So what it will give you is the option to switch out one of the things you have got on your pads for stems. And I think the one they tend to go for is sampler. And so you'll be given that option. And so that might already be there in your Pioneer DJ XDJ-XZ. I'm not sure, to be quite honest. I haven't checked that particular device. But if it's not there, certainly go onto the Serato forum and ask, because I know that they are adding at a rate of knots all the controllers that it can work with. And also you can map it. Now I've got a MIDI controller here somewhere, and I always say I've got one and I don't know where it is. I've got the XP2, anyway, the Pioneer one with 16 pads. I can't find it, it's not there at the moment. Which you can get, so you can add in an extra MIDI controller and map the pads and do it that way as well if for some reason it doesn't work on your unit, but I think it probably will. So do go and ask if you're not able to get that to work, and because if it isn't there now, it might be there in Traktor, sorry, in Serato 3.01 or something, if it's not there right now. Stems are brilliant, by the way. If you haven't played with stems, we've got some videos over on Digital DJ Tips. It lets you separate your music into vocals, drums, bass line and melody live, literally live. You load a song, you're DJing with it normally, and you can turn those things off or isolate any of those things. For instance, acapellas and all kinds of stuff. It's brilliant. So this is from Big Joe Joyce, who says, I'm trying to hook a Rode NT1A microphone up to my DDJ 1000 to record voiceovers for a mix. When I plug it in, it doesn't work. What would you say to that? Any recommendations? A Rode NT1A. So what we need to do together is look at that mic. Let's go and type it into Google and see what we find. A Rode NT1A. So this is your problem. Your Rode NT1A is a condenser microphone. And a condenser microphone is a brand of microphone, a type of microphone that you can't just plug in to your DJ gear and make it work. And the reason you can't just plug it into your DJ gear and make it work is that it needs a power supply. And so without that power supply, it's never going to work. This is a audio interface which does have a power supply for this. If I just zoom in on this for you, if you look, if I can show you, if I brighten that picture up, you should be able to see a bit better. So if you can see here, I'm just trying to focus my camera, you see this, here's our microphone inputs on a professional audio interface, and this has got 48 volts. See that 48V just there? If I go like this and focus on there, you'll definitely see it. Trying to get the whole thing in focus now. That's as close as it'll get. Live TV, eh? This bit here, right? This is what you're looking for. Look at my hands all bleached out there. And unless your gear has got that, it ain't gonna work. So how do you do it? How do you plug your microphone in? You plug it into a mixer that's got that and then into your DJ gear. Or you plug the output from your DJ gear into a mixer that's got that and plug your microphone into that mixer and then blend them together that way. But unfortunately, there's no other way of doing it unless you do that, because that's the way that gear is made, and unfortunately, it's no DJ controller has got that. The reason DJ controllers don't have phantom power for condenser mics is that condenser mics are a very, very poor choice for DJing. And the reason for that is a microphone like this one, which is just a classic Shure SM58 microphone, which is, you've seen these for, Bill Haley and the Comets used to use these. These have been around literally since post-war, and they're still going strong now. These kind of microphones don't need external power. They've still got the same connection on them, and they're very low sensitivity compared to a condenser microphone, which means that if I've got it there, you hardly hear what I'm saying. And as soon as it goes there, it gets really loud, quite loud. That's what you want for DJing, because you don't want it to pick up all the crap that's going on around you. You basically want it to only work when you've got it there, right? And that's why these kind of microphones are really good for that kind of thing. A condenser microphone, on the other hand, will pick up everything. If I set a condenser microphone up here and we were quiet for a second, you'd hear someone turning the light switch on in the corridor around there. Literally, they're that sensitive, which is rubbish for using for DJing. So that's why your Rode mic is an absolutely beautiful microphone for podcasting. It's a beautiful microphone to have set up right next to you and sit there in a quiet room and do a lovely show. You'll get a much fuller, nicer sound to your voice than you would on one of these, but not for DJing. So that's why you don't get that power on DJ gear. And the way around it is to use an external mixer or an external audio interface that's got phantom power. That's what you're looking for, phantom power. Right. We're up and running, aren't we, people? I do love this stuff. Thank you very much for your wonderful questions, people. Hello to DJ Eric in Sweden, who doesn't have a question, but Eric just says, I do love the new firmware update to the Engine DJ gear. Yeah, a lot of people are loving that as well. So the next live question is from Syndicate, who says, hello, Phil. Any chance that you're going to produce a course on how to effectively use stems? I think we will definitely be producing training on how to effectively use stems. Let me kind of tell you about our courses and how they work. Our courses are designed to give you what we call internally a transformation. We want to get you from A to B. We don't want to just give you a new skill in isolation. That's no good. We want to get you like feeling like you're now a different person. You've now got something big that that's changed your DJing, that's changed your life. So that would be an element in one of our courses. What we'd be more likely to do would be update the complete DJ course, update some of our mixing courses to include lessons that include how to use stems. Stems in itself isn't a skill, it's just another feature. It's like us having a course, you know, the digital DJ tips course on how to use slicer mode. It's like, what, really? Why? You know, slicer mode's great for about 5 minutes and maybe twice a gig, but it certainly isn't going to turn you into something that you're not now. It's just another little thing. So I think we will probably start incorporating stem stuff into our training, and we will not really be doing that until Rekordbox adds it, because until then it's something that isn't in all the major platforms. Traktor has said it's coming, it's already in Virtual DJ, it's already in Serato. As soon as Rekordbox adds it, we're good to go. So, and it's already in DJ Pro AI as well and Virtual DJ. So yeah, as soon as that happens, we will be adding it. So we'll also be doing free stuff, so keep an eye out on our YouTube channel for free bits and pieces. Right, so this one is from, so Big Joe Joyce is just pushing back saying, no, I don't have an audio interface. Am I screwed? Can the controller not run a microphone too? And yes, it can. Controllers can run microphones. The microphone parts of a controller are fine, but they're made to work with dynamic microphones because they're the microphones you want for DJing. This is from Brian, who says, Phil, are you planning on attending any conventions next year in the USA? There is a small chance I'll come to the NAMM show, but I, since COVID, have made a kind of promise that I ain't going to go very far to go to shows. I'll go to ADE in Amsterdam because it's right up the road. I might go to Sonar in Barcelona. It's up the road. I might go to the Ibiza conferences. They're in Europe, but probably not to the US very often. It's too hard. Getting too old for that jet lag. But anyway, if we do, Brian, I can't wait to meet up, but I'm not going to make any promises there. This is from Jermaine, who says, is there another place to upload DJ mixes apart from Mixcloud? They limit you to 10 mixes unless you get a pro subscription. So yes, there is. You can upload them to SoundCloud, you can upload them to YouTube, but it's not legal there. And the reason it's not legal there is that the artists are not getting paid. The difference with Mixcloud is the artists are getting fairly paid for you using their music. And the way they get paid for you using their music is you paying for a subscription to their service. So it's fair that you have to pay a subscription to their service. That said, Mixcloud is a platform that you can actually monetize your mixes on. So you can charge people for subscribing to your channel. You can give a few mixes away for free and you can charge for others, or you can do special things for subscribers. There's all kinds of stuff you can do on there. And this is really cool because they give some of that money to the artists. They take some of it for themselves to run the service, and you get to keep some of it. So if you work hard on Mixcloud, you can make money there. So pluses and minuses, but no, there is no other place that you can legally post mixes that I know of apart from Mixcloud, which makes it quite unique. Hello, Vinkus, who is in Vancouver. Hello over there in Canada. Says, I've got a question about mixing with the EQs. Yeah, man, you see DJs like that all the time, don't you? Oh, and their hands are on the EQs and they're bouncing around and you're thinking, are they actually doing anything there? Anyway, Vinkus says, I'm a huge fan of less is more when it comes to mixing. Do you have any tips on that? Thank you. Right, here is my thoughts on that. Funnily enough, there was someone in our what's the word I'm looking for? Notification system inside our courses. I'll show you actually. I don't think I've shown you this before. I mean, if you own our courses, you'll know this because you'll be in there. But let me show you how it kind of works in the background in our courses and how it works for us as tutors. So if I log in as an admin to our DJ courses, I'll do that right now and show you. So I'm logging in now. I'm not going to show you my password because that would be silly, but once I'm logged in, I will cut to this screen. There we go. It's logging in now. Right, so this is our course area on Digital DJ Tips. So if you own a course from us, if you're a member of our lab, it'll show in your memberships. If you're a member of any of our courses, they'll show down here, right? This is, some of you will be familiar with this, but I don't think many of you will have all the courses that are here because this is all the courses we've ever made. So let's say you are in here and you click on one of our courses. This is how it works. You see the course, you see the intro video, you can hide the intro video, there's all your modules, you can click in and follow the videos and so on. You can bookmark things and like things, you can change your profile, do all kinds of stuff in here, ask questions and so on. Now this is a bit I wanted to show you. Down at the bottom there's this little bell here and this pops up. Now I'm a good boy, so there's nothing here that I haven't covered, but all the questions that you guys and girls ask, they show here, and then I can click on them and flick to the question in concern and it will pop up here. And this is where you see me answering questions as a student. So I go through, Steve goes through, Joey goes through every morning looking at our questions and answering them. So this is the kind of the way it all works when we're helping you as your tutors inside our courses. The reason I'm talking about this is that early this morning when I was answering my questions, a student was looking at one of our mixes in our house mixing mastery course and said to me, it's a really smooth mix. I love the way that works, but don't you think that the vocal on the outgoing song could have done with a little bit of an echo just to finish the mix off? And I said, I am a fan of less is more when it comes to mixes. I like to find the perfect 2 tracks and I like to find the perfect place to put them. And literally, if I can just press play on the new track in the right place and have that blend in, as little as possible here is best for me. That's just a personal preference, and over the years I've tried to mix less and less and less and just let the music do the talking. It's really about you, because there's no right and wrong way. If you look at Steve Canuetto, one of our tutors and one of our partners here at Digital DJ Tips, Steve's very different to me. Steve's very much about, he's always cutting things in and out, he's always using his filters while he's doing it, he's always doing this, he's always got pads going, and that's absolutely fine. That's the camera I meant to be showing you then. That's absolutely fine. There's no right and wrong way, and it depends on your audience, your style, it depends on the time of night, depends on how much energy you're trying to put into the dance floor. One of the things I would say though, one of the things that I think is probably pretty universal when it comes to mixing is the bass drop technique. So this is where you are using your bass EQs to switch from one deck to another. So when you're mixing, this deck is going to be dominant because the bass is dominant. And then as you slowly blend in the next song, bang, you're going to at some point switch the bass. This seems pretty universal. There's very few DJs I know who don't do that at some point, because as soon as the bass is over on this track here, then you can fade this one out. And generally you're not going to lose the power on the dance floor because the bass is the power on the dance floor. So the bass swap seems pretty universal. But everything else, I mean really everything else I'd say is pretty optional. It's just kind of up to you and your style. And of course the music you're playing as well. But thank you for that, Vinkas. It's the same thing that people say, should I be doing quick mixing? Should I be doing verse, chorus out, verse, chorus out? Well, yes, you should sometimes. If that's what your dance floor wants, if that's what you want, if that's what the music's like. At other times, no. You'd look a bit silly quick mixing every 90 seconds to a new song at 7 o'clock in the evening when people are just sat down for dinner at a wedding, right? It's far better to have the volume half and to be playing chill out background music and just mixing it subtly, right, at that point. There's always a purpose to what you're doing. And I think the reason is that, or rather the lesson is to decide what is necessary for right now. And sometimes, yeah, a lot of playing on the decks is necessary. Right, let's grab some feedback and stuff here. This is from Eugene. Sorry, this is, yeah, from Eugene in Oregon, who says, I love listening to you. Well, I'm glad about that. Hello to Darren on YouTube. And Darren says, which DMX controller would you recommend? I've just bought a pair of Chauvet Intimators, Spot 260 and a few Eurolight FX5. We haven't reviewed it yet. We haven't reviewed it yet, but we have reviewed a few DMX controllers. We have reviewed a few DMX controllers. We haven't reviewed it yet. 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 We haven't reviewed it y but I'm going to guess this is going to become our new favorite controller. It is a really, really nice little thing by a company called Wolfmix. And it's nice because it looks and feels like a DJ controller. It's got a lovely screen, it's got a few encoders, and it's got the pads that we all know and love on it. We have yet to test this, but I'm going to be testing it quite soon. And I've got a feeling this is going to become the one that we recommend. I do like Sound Switch as well. Sound Switch is a subscription device, and they do have a controller called the Sound Switch Control 1, which gives you a piece of hardware that works with either this gear here, because this gear here has actually got on the screen control of lighting. You can go into the settings and you can grab lighting control in here, and you can control not only DMX lights, Pro lights, but you can also control Philips Hue and Nanoleaf, which are like LED wall lights at home, which is really, really cool. So any engine DJ gear can control lighting, and it does it through a system called Sound Switch, which also runs on your laptop. So you can run it with Serato and so on a laptop. So Sound Switch is good as well. But if you're just using DMX, and I think you are by your comment there, Darren, then I'd say take a look at Wolfmix. It does look pretty cool. People, we are live here in the Digital DJ Tips studio. It's me, Phil, and we're just answering your questions. We're just on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, just answering questions. It's actually the last one of these shows that we're going to do before Christmas. I will be back on Tuesday for a Tuesday Tips Live, but after that, we're not back until the 10th of January. So do ask your questions now if you want to have us help you with something. Do also watch out for our DJ census. I told you about it earlier. It launches tomorrow. Watch your inbox for details. And if you're not a Digital DJ Tips member, join, because that way you'll learn not only about how to take part in our annual census, but also how to get your hands on the prizes in our free prize draw. And God, we've got some big prizes this year, trust me on that one. So do join Digital DJ Tips. Head to the website and click any of the join links now, and then tomorrow when we launch that, we can tell you about it. Also, giving you more news, if you are one of those people who meant to buy something in our Black Friday sale, I don't know how you missed it, we ran it for a whole week, but if you did mean to buy something in the Black Friday sale, or you're getting some gear for Christmas, maybe you're getting a controller like the one I've got here, whatever, and you want to grab one of our courses and you're thinking, damn, I missed it, I want the discount, I want that saving. We've decided that we're going to run this year a very, very quick post-Christmas flash sale. So if you've got DJ gear arriving on the 25th of December, save a bit of that Christmas money, because on the 26th of December, we're going to be dropping our prices just for a day or so. So you can grab a course, a cheeky little course, while you're sat there eating your cold turkey, so that you can get up to speed on your DJ gear. Don't say I didn't warn you, but have your credit card ready, because it ain't going to be for very long. It's just a very quick one. We want to be getting back to our holidays as well, so we're not going to be hanging around for too long to run that sale. It's just going to be a quick service to everyone who might have missed the Black Friday sale. Right, let's grab some more of your questions. This one is from, you can tell I haven't picked one yet, can't you? It's from Techno Beat in the Philippines, actually saying, just saying hello, just saying it's now a Christmas break from college here, and hello. So Dr. Clara was enjoying our student session yesterday. We had a really good student call yesterday. Thank you everyone who was on that inside our Digital DJ Lab program. And Dr. Clara has been playing with stems ever since and really enjoying it. I'm glad about that. We went really deep, didn't we? We were talking about AI and the future of communication and all kinds of stuff. We went quite deep yesterday thinking about it. This is from QE Skill 22. Hey Phil, I want to learn how to DJ dubstep. I know how to do house music, but not dubstep. Any tips? Yeah, funnily enough, I've just mentioned our Digital DJ Lab program. Go take a look at Digital DJ Lab. If you go to our courses page, it's right at the bottom. And the reason for that is we teach all kinds of genres in there. But having said that, dubstep is one of those genres that's got relationships to hip hop and also to drum and bass. And actually the basics of DJing, the counting the beats, the timing, the syncing your beats up, and the mixing, the EQs and so on, is exactly the same as any other genre. It's just that you've got to count the rhythms a bit differently with dubstep. And there are certain things you can get away with and do in dubstep that you can't do in house, for instance. So because the dubstep beats are depending on how you count them, they're either very high or very low. So they're either 80, 90 BPM or 160, 170 BPM. You can jump from fast to slow music very easily. You can mix from dubstep to drum and bass to hip hop. I just mentioned those genres. So there's a chance of doing kind of multi-genre mixing, and R&B as well. So, trap, all those styles, they all mix up. I guess the bigger word for this is bass music, right? Mixing bass music. So do take a look in Digital DJ Lab and see if there's something in there for you, but also just bear in mind that it isn't that different. What I would say to you, if you're struggling to mix dubstep, but you already know how to mix house, you're probably closer than you think. Just record your dubstep efforts, if you like, and listen back and say what worked and what didn't. Also listen to dubstep DJs on YouTube and on Boiler Room videos so you can watch them as well and hear what they're doing. And just, you know, copying is the best form of learning. So if you don't want to start spending money on courses, and that's all fine, there's a lot of free stuff on YouTube, a lot of mixes that can help you there. I saw, says Mike Beats, the Prime 4 in person. Lucky you, Mike Beats. It looks better in person, but it looks like a kid's toy on YouTube. Trust me, it doesn't feel like a kid's toy. It's a big, heavy controller. The controls all feel wonderful on it. It's nice to have the artwork on the internals here. That said, I think when you look at the SC Live 4, which is the kind of the newer Denon DJ 4-channel controller, funnily, because this is the better built, this is the more professional of the two, they've toned down all this green and blue and made it look a little bit more professional. So yeah, I think you've probably got a point there. Right, let's grab another live one. This is from Mixmaster G talking to Big Joe Joyce. Again, this is about the problems with live streaming, saying, look, you can just use Logitech cams, you can use Logitech webcams. You don't need to use DSLRs, that's what we're using here, and that's true, you don't. You don't. DSLRs look great, but you don't have to use them. Webcams are great. And yeah, a few of you chatting about that, saying the higher the frame rate, the more CPU you use. DJ Meister says, I sold my Denon SC5000s and I want to move back to Pioneer. I ordered an XDJ-1000 Mark II and I'd like a DJ-M750 Mark II mixer to go with it. Would it be a good mixer? It's quite an old mixer now. I don't really have an opinion on whether you should still get any of the smaller Pioneer DJ mixers. Maybe someone can help us in the comments, because I don't even know which ones they still make. The one that the one we've got here and the one we've used for years is just a standard DJ-M900 Nexus 2. And we don't have any other Pioneer mixers to play with. We haven't had any for many, many, many years. So in truth, I don't know. I don't know what the best. If someone who uses Pioneer gear can maybe advise down in the comments, I'll try and share that before the end. But also, you could maybe go and help DJ Meister out on YouTube in the chat there, because that's where DJ Meister is watching. I want to tell you something actually about the chat. It's best to watch this on Facebook. And the reason is not because I love Facebook, because I don't, but because anything you ask stays with the video. If you ask a question now, it goes underneath the video, and when we finish going live, that video turns into a recording and your question stays there. So my team can get to you afterwards, because there's no way I'll answer all the questions. I'm normally lucky to get through half of them. And so that way we find it easy to answer your questions later on. So just a little tip there. If you want to make sure your question gets answered, then do it that way. This is from Paolo, who says, if I want to stream, how can I take the sound from my controller to the streaming laptop in stereo? Thanks for your amazing work. Very, very easy. So the way you're probably doing it now is using a special cable to plug from the output from your laptop or from your controller into the headphones input or the headphones microphone input on your laptop. And that, correctly, you're right, will give you mono. What you need is an audio interface. Now I've got a couple here I can show you. This is the iRig Stream interface. Let's just try and get some focus on these. Get them right up there. There we go. This is the iRig Stream. This is a interface designed to get audio from here into your computer in stereo. This is the Ever Mix box, which is designed for DJs. So this has got stuff DJs don't really need on it. This is just for DJs. Does the same thing. Plug your input there, sends it into your computer. Either of these or any other 2-in, you're looking for a 2-in audio interface, the number 2 and the words in. Any audio interface that is at least 2-in will do the job for you. And that will give you stereo input into your laptop, or I'm guessing it's a laptop you're using. And so you've got stereo music there. Now, if your laptop is also being used as a DJ controller, in other words, if you're not using something like this, but you're using just a normal DJ controller, like for instance, the Pioneer DJ Flex 4, DDJ 400, any of the mix track controllers, any DDJ 1000, anything that uses laptop and software, Serato, Recordbox and so on, the audio is already in your computer. It's sometimes hard to access it. And so the reason for that is that your computer is connected to the audio interface in that gear. So the audio is already accessible to your computer. Your DJ software is grabbing that audio if you think about it. All you need to do is send it to your OBS, assuming you're using OBS to broadcast your live stream. And the way you do that is either by knowing how to get into the internals of your computer and rewiring that audio, or much easier, go grab yourself one of the many little free or paid for apps that will do that for you. The free one that we always recommend to people, because they never come back and say that didn't work, is called VB Audio. So head to vb-audio.com. You can get this for Windows and for Mac, and this will let you take the audio from your DJ controller and make it available to OBS or to anything else on your computer, and then it'll be in stereo. You won't need any extra leads, you won't need any extra audio interfaces or anything like that. The one we use is called Loopback, and it's only for Mac, and it's really, really nice. You get a nice visual way of organizing things. So you get all these lines you can draw and move around and stuff, and it's all very nice, but you don't need Loopback. You just need VB cable, will do the same job for you. So that, if you're using a controller, is even cheaper than buying an audio interface. An audio interface is a great thing to have, but for this, you don't need it. Right, let's grab another question from our many, many that are coming in live on the chat. So Serato and Stems from DJ Graham. Does Stems put a lot more control on your laptop? I've heard you need an i9 to make Stems work smoothly. Thank you. Right, okay, it's a good question. So Stems, the real-time AI separation of drums, bass line, melody, vocals, not surprisingly takes an awful lot of power. If your laptop is a bit older, then it might struggle with it. Now, the good news is that most Stems systems, and your question is about Serato, so let's answer it with Serato as our example, give you two choices as to how they work. You can have it do all that calculation in real time, and that means it really will put a strain on your computer, and you better have a powerful computer. Or, here's the clever bit, you can have it do that stuff ahead of time. And the way Serato does it is gives you the option, and then what you do is you take the songs that you know you're going to want to use, vocals, drums, bass, so on, separately. In other words, the ones you're going to want to use the Stems functions with. You take those and you drag them to a special folder called the Stems folder. And then just like Serato analyzes your music when you add it originally, Serato will now reanalyze your music. When you're not DJing, you'll leave it to get on with the job ahead of time. And effectively, what it's doing is creating, before you need to DJ, 4 versions of that song, with the 4 different stems, the drums, the vocals, the bass line and the melody. And you can't take those out of Serato, but effectively that's what it's done. It's created 4 separate MP3s ahead of time. And then when you want to DJ with that stems file, it just loads all 4. And that takes far less memory than trying to do it, far less CPU power than trying to do it live. And therefore it can work with less powerful computers. At the expense of, 1, you needing to plan, because it will only then let you use stems with tracks you've pre-analyzed. And 2, you probably guessed, you're going to need a decent amount of hard disk space, because suddenly, you know, 1 track has turned into 5, the original and the 4 stems. So you're going to need 5 times the hard drive space were you to analyze your whole collection that way. But it does mean you can use it on less powerful computers. So yes, it's probably worth choosing now as the time to upgrade your computer if you're going to get heavy with stems, but you don't have to, not right now. Cool, thank you for that. So apparently NTSC is the more higher frame rate, so that'll be the 25 as opposed to the European 24 per second. Thank you for that, Kulfan Garan. We used to have a joke in the United Kingdom that NTSC, the American way of doing video, meant never the same color twice. So anyway, it's an old joke. Right, let's grab another live question. This is from Sem, who says, I've been thinking of getting into DJ for a while, and I'm wanting to buy some entry-level gear. What controller and speakers would you recommend, and how do I start learning to mix? Right, so entry-level controller. Now, you can get entry level, right? You can get stuff like this. You can get software that works on your phone, so you don't need to buy a laptop and stuff. If you're serious about starting to DJ, don't buy that stuff. If you can afford it, get something that some people would say, well, that's not really entry level, but I would say it is for a serious DJ. This is the Pioneer DJ Flex 4, but equally you could go for the Numark Mixtrack Pro FX. You could go for the Hercules controllers, smaller Hercules controllers. You could go for something like, I'm taking a look down here now. Well, actually, look, I've got the Serato Rev 1. All these kind of things, $200, $300, $400. No, they're not cheap, but they are the cheaper controllers of the ones that I would recommend to you because they've got the functions on that means you won't outgrow them. And you don't want to outgrow your controller. So I'd go for something like that. Speakers wise, my advice is always use what you've got. If you've got any wired speakers that don't have any latency, so any speakers that basically aren't Bluetooth, that are just wired, you just plug a wire in and use them. Old-fashioned style speakers, I would say. Computer speakers are a very, very good option. Then they'll be fine. Or maybe you've got a home cinema system, or a hi-fi, an old-fashioned hi-fi, that would all be fine. It's just getting it set up near you. You don't need to worry about speakers necessarily. If you do want to go for speakers and you haven't got too much money, M Audio do some nice little speakers, Pioneer do some nice small speakers that are good for DJs. But honestly, my advice, get down your local computer retailer, you know, that sell everything from fridges to microwaves, to mobile phones, to computers, and look at the Logitech type computer speakers there, because you can get one of those systems that's got two little speakers that are meant to go on the desktop and one bass speaker that goes underneath, and some of them sound really good, and you can pick them up for like $30, $40, $50. And as a starting system, that can be brilliant, and that can be all you need for many, many years. I used to run DJ gear on that stuff for so long, and it's a fraction of the price of buying, you know, monitor speakers that are sold as specialist DJ speakers. When it comes to learning to mix, Digital DJ Tips, we're the world's biggest DJ school. Go take a look at our courses page. We've got everything you need there. But if you're not a member of the school, go grab a copy of the book. And this book has got 5 mixes every DJ needs to know in it. And I promise you, if you learn just those 5 mixes, you can play gigs. And the good thing about that is that in the book, we have links to videos where I personally show you the mixes on DJ gear. And so I will talk you through how they're done. So you don't need to buy our courses. You can just get the book and follow the mixes that I show you there, and that'll get you started. But that said, our courses are there when you're ready for them. But also, you can find the book on the website, and you can get it for free by just joining. So head to digitaldjtips.com and get the book for free. Thank you for the question, Sem. I hope you have fun learning to DJ. Do let us know how you get on. Let's grab another question from Facebook then. So this is from Dave, who says, I'm looking for advice. Last night when DJing, my RX2 waveforms started lagging. Then, after about 10 seconds, the music died completely. Is it time to get them serviced? So your RX2, I'm going to guess you're using the XDJ RX2, right? I'm going to guess that's what you're using. Just trying to think if there was a DJ controller with the same name. I'm assuming that you are using the XDJ RX2, which is the one that came before the RX3, and I'm assuming you're using it standalone. In which case, definitely get it serviced because there's an issue there. Because that should never happen. There's no reason why you should overload your system there. So definitely have it looked at. Could have been something to do with the power supply. I don't know if you drop the power supply and there's an issue with that, it would in the end crash the unit. That sounds very strange to me. I've got to be honest, it's probably the first time I've ever heard that. So, I mean, it might never happen again, Dale, but if it does happen again, it's definitely time to have it looked at. Obviously, we never want to DJ again, do we? When we've had something go wrong once, so we're suddenly really scared. You know, it's like having your house burgled, God forbid. You never, you don't want to go to sleep again for about 6 months, do you? It's the same thing when your DJ gear crashes in front of an audience. You don't want to ever go into the same gear again, right? But hopefully it won't happen again. But if it does, I'll definitely have it looked at. This is from, this is a great question from Madel Chemist on Twitch, who says, can you run any kind of DJ software on Chromebook? I just bought a Chromebook to use as a home PC, and I'm not planning on DJing with it at the moment, but I was just wondering whether you need to have a Windows or Mac computer to DJ. Now, there is a piece of DJ software that you can use on Chromebook, and it's the DJ software from Beatport. Beatport has got a browser-based piece of DJ software, which means you don't have to use anything other than your browser, which is, of course, what Chromebooks use. So this piece of software you can find at dj.beatport.com. Head to dj.beatport.com and you'll find this piece of software here, which is designed to work with a Beatport subscription. You can get a subscription for not very much money. I think you get one for $10 a month, which should let you use this. It works like normal DJ software. You can drag your tracks onto it. You can crossfade, you've got effects, you've got gridding, you've got everything you expect on DJ software. You've even got a party mode. And the party mode will let you DJ with, I think it's up to 4 other DJs live, and you can have 100 people watching you as well. It's a really cool piece of software, and it works in your browser. So if you've got a Chromebook and you've always thought, nah, I can't DJ with my Chromebook, you can, as long as you've got Beatport. I think Beatport will give you a subscription for a month for free, so you can try it out as well. So there you go. Take a look at Beatport DJ. It's at dj.beatport.com. This one now is from, my team will be dealing with that Spanner on our YouTube, who is offering you all a dating service. So if you'd like to find a really, really attractive person of the opposite sex, go and click that link in our comments, and I promise you, you're going to get everything you need, and you certainly won't get scammed in any way at all. Yeah, whatever. Right. What is the solution, says Raymond, to acapellas often showing the wrong BPM once they've been analysed in Recordbox? I always find myself Googling the track's actual BPM and manually changing it. So one of the ways around that is to load the actual track up onto the other deck and sync them up, and then transfer the BPM over, because that way you have got the track playing against the one that it came from in the first place. It's very, very easy to dial that BPM in. That's how we do it here. But what you're doing is fine as well. You shouldn't be using acapellas unless you own the original track anyway. So just loading them both onto the decks could be the best way around that. So Lou, hello Lou, haven't seen you for a little while, who says, I've got no question today, but I want to wish you and your family a very happy holidays. Oh, thank you, Lou. Oh, the same to you as well. And happy holidays, and a big thanks to the rest of the team, Steve, for the wonderful job you've done this year. You guys are awesome. Oh, thank you very much, Lou, for that. So also on Facebook, a Pioneer DJ-XZ user says, my power supply went bad. It seems like none of the aftermarket ones work, and the original replacement one is over $100. Have you ever encountered an issue like this? Yes, we have, and that's why we always say, I know this camera's out of focus, and why we always say, please people, if you can, buy DJ gear with a proper, we call them kettle leads, because they're the ones that used to plug into your kettles back in the day, a proper IEC connection. It just saves all that bother. Yes, I know you can't run your DJ gear off a mobile phone battery pack and stuff, but honestly, they're the bane of our life. We've had through our hands hundreds of DJ controllers over the years, and those power bricks they break. And this way, hopefully there's a high quality transformer built into your unit, and just plugging that cable in is the way forward. It's no help to you, unfortunately, with your DDJ-1000, but that's the problem. You know, if they break, it's a lot of money. We've got a perfectly well functioning Pioneer DDJ-1000 over there ourselves, and guess what? The socket's broken. And so it's not even the power supply, it's the socket you plug into. It's made the whole thing a brick. It's really, really annoying. So I just think try and avoid it if you can with your DJ gear. Let's grab one or two final questions then. So this is from Eric, who says, how can I include my XLR microphone on my live streams using my DDJ-1000? The normal inputs ain't working. Here's the problem. A lot of DJ gear, the microphone inputs are not routed out through the USB into your computer. Funnily enough, the manufacturers are getting it right now. Modern gear, they're realizing a lot of people are using their gear to live stream. So even cheap controllers, I keep holding it up, but it's because it's our favorite little controller at the moment, like the Pioneer DJ Flex 4. Even cheap controllers like this, you plug the microphone in, it'll come straight out of the computer sockets on the back, and that audio will be available to your live streaming software, and that's brilliant. But even controllers that should know better, like the otherwise very professional DDJ 1000 from Pioneer, I believe that doesn't do it, and I believe that's what you're discovering here. The only way around it is to use an external mixer to mix that in. Or to, you know, there are other ways around it. One way I used to do it was to use a microphone that plugged directly into the computer and then mix within OBS, but that gets a bit tricky. I would say just get a small external mixer and plug your microphone into that, plug your DJ gear into that as well, and take the output from that and get that into your computer. But again, we're talking audio interfaces, extra cables and so on. There's no really elegant way of doing that, Eric. But it does mean you can then use your controls on your DJ gear to control the microphone, your talk over and your microphone levels and so on. One or two more. I keep saying one or two more. In fact, we've run out of time, so we're just going to do one more before disappearing today. Lots of you wanting to live stream. There's a lot of live streaming questions here, which is interesting. We'll find out in the DJ census, which by the way launches tomorrow. If you're a regular and you weren't here at the beginning, we're launching the DJ census tomorrow. So watch your inboxes. We've got the prize draw as well. It's going to be huge. Final one from the doc. This is about Pioneer gear. This is then about how robust and age-proof would you say Pioneer DJ hardware is? Would you consider buying a CDJ 400 for bedroom use in 2022? No, I wouldn't. But if you want to play CDs in your bedroom, well, I guess you could. Pioneer DJ hardware tends to last a long time, and it tends to be built to kind of be relevant years on. I mean, this is the classic Pioneer setup that we've got here. These are modern CDJs, but that isn't a modern mixer. It's been around for half a decade now. But the point is, if these were the older CDJs, the 2000s, there's no DJ in the world today that wouldn't be able to walk up to them and use them just like these current ones. And if this was even an older mixer, DJs would be fine. When they finally replace this mixer, this one will be fine for another 10 years. Pioneer DJ, by its very nature, moves slowly. At least it does with its separates, because it knows that DJs are just relying on turning up and having gear that does what they know it's going to do. And so Pioneer DJ is very, very careful to make sure its gear has got quite a long life. It knows that a lot of gear hangs around in clubs for 10 years and will need to still be functioning. So of all the companies, I would say you're probably safest with Pioneer DJ gear when it comes to longevity. CDJ 400, I don't even remember the CDJ 400. I've got no idea the doc, but genuinely Pioneer gear lasts a long time. People, we've got to go. Thank you so much for being here for this hour. I will not be here next week because I'm taking a Christmas break. We tend to work in term times now at Digital DJ Tips. So we have our autumn or our fall term, our spring term and our summer term. It is our Christmas holiday break. I will be back at the beginning of our spring term, winter term, whatever you want to call it, on the 9th of January, and that means our next live stream after Tuesday coming will be on Tuesday the 10th of January, and then our next Thursday Q&A live will be on Thursday the 12th of January. So I'll see you then. I'll see you in the new year. We've got the DJ census coming up. We've got our Boxing Day flash sale of all our DJ courses coming up. We've got some fantastic roundups of DJ gear and software for 2023 coming up in the next couple of weeks on the website. So we'll be very, very busy. We'll be here. We'll be here to help you in your courses. But when it comes to live shows, Tuesday is the last chance to catch on before 2023. Look, thank you everyone for being here today. It's always a pleasure. I'm really sorry I can't get to all of your questions. I do try, but just don't have 2 or 3 hours to answer them all. And the trouble is, the more I stay, the more they come on the end. So it's like a losing battle. But hey, I'm humbled that there's so many of you want help, and I'm pleased to help you as much as I can. I'm going to say goodbye now. And because I just grabbed that deck and realized we've got some audio, I'm going to end with a spin back. So get good, get out there, make the moments, and see you very soon.